Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome everyone to the Mashariki Summit 2021 opening. And thank you so much for making time for this session amidst your busy and hectic schedules. My name is Nancy Onyango, and I'm the NAAK coordinator and also the 2021 Mashariki Summit coordinator. The theme for this summit is Pathways to Addressing Food and Nutrition Security in Kenya and in Tanzania. We are very, very excited to have everyone join us for this 2-hour-long session, which is also being streamed live on our NAAK Facebook page. This is a webinar, which means only panelists will be able to speak. Please use the chat box and the Q&A features to post questions to the panelists who have joined us for this session. In the course of the session, our moderator for this session, who's Dr. Julius Buho, who's joining us live from Garissa, will be able to address your questions, and we hope to have a very interactive session with you. This is the opening segment where we'll feature short presentations from our Alumni Association, NAAK, the Ambassador of Kenya to the Netherlands. We also have a special treat, which is a surprise act from one of Kenya's finest spoken word artists, and they'll present in that order. I'd also like to give some few remarks, just some few quick remarks before we usher in the next speaker, who will be Mr. Isaac Okero, our Netherlands Alumni Association of Kenya chairman. So Mashariki Summit is our first virtual conference as NAAK and is a joint project that we are undertaking with the Netherlands Alumni Association of Tanzania, and it's supported by NAAK. And this summit is a 3-day event. Day one, which is today, we'll have 2 events, one focused on, and the events are focused on Kenya. Tomorrow we will focus on Tanzania, and on Thursday, on the 23rd of September, we will have sessions that will focus on career development for our alumni, and it's also open to the public. More details about the summit, the program, the speakers, all the links are available on our NAAK website. So please visit www.naakkenya.org if you need more information about the summit. We are also using Mashariki Summit 2021 as our event hashtag. So please feel free to take pictures and comment on conversations. And yeah, we look forward to a fruitful engagement with you. So I know some of you might ask, amidst the COVID pandemic, why should we care about food and nutrition security? Food is very, very important to us as human beings because the food that we eat is what provides us with nutrients. And nutrients are the substances that provide us energy for activity, for growth. And without food, we starve. And when we starve, we die. So food is really, really important for us as human beings. And these are very remarkable times and defining times for the world, as every conversation sits at the heart of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has so far claimed the lives of more than 4.6 million people globally. And the aftershocks of this pandemic are greatly affecting our agriculture and food systems, from your florist to your mama mboga, to your local butcher, to your baker, name it. Everyone is affected. And if you remember how delicious your favorite meal is or dish, if it's ugali and nyama choma, if it's pita baren and mash for the Dutch, if it's samaki wa kupaka na wali wa nazi for our Tanzanian friends, or simply a fruit salad or a smoothie, the thought of me mentioning this might just drive you hungry now, as that might have been your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and that's what you're thinking of. But the same joy is not shared with everyone globally, as close to 300 million people in the African continent go to bed hungry every night. And this is simply unacceptable. And Mashariki Summit is taking place also at the backdrop of 2 very important events this week, which the events are the UN General Assembly, which under the leadership of our UN Secretary General and Antonio Guterres feature biodiversity, energy, governance, sustainable development, agriculture, and food security as pressing agenda items for the various activities and events that they'll be having. And during the UN General Assembly, we also have the virtual UN Food System Summit, which is happening. And Mashariki Summit is actually one of the independent summit dialogue events during this whole event campaign period. And if we reflect and we see how various projections from various reports, such as the State of the World, State of the Food Security and Nutrition report by FAO and reports by AGRA, what they show us is that the world is not on track to achieve sustainable development goal number 2, which is basically ensuring that there's no hunger, there's zero hunger by 2030. And despite some progress, most indicators are also not on track to meet global nutrition targets. And if you think about it, world hunger increased in 2020 under the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic. And after remaining virtually unchanged for 5 years, the prevalence of undernourishment increased from 8.4 to around 9.9% in just 1 year. And this has heightened the challenge for achieving the zero hunger target by 2030. And if we come back home in Kenya, around 1.8 million people, which is about 3.3% of the population, are estimated to be food insecure. And these projections regrettably show us that we are unable to guarantee a better and more sustainable future for all, as the food security and nutritional status of the most vulnerable population groups is likely to deteriorate further due to the health and social economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. So Mashariki Summit is a UN Food System Summit, and our work here is to be able to review, to discuss, and share pathways that will ensure food security for all by building resilience in our food systems in Kenya and in Tanzania. The second event also that is important this week is the 18th African Ministerial Conference on the Environment, which is tackling the triple crisis of climate change, loss, biodiversity, and pollution. And it's a very important week for us, and Mashariki Summit is actually happening at a very, very special moment. So we hope to actually amplify our conversations and link up with these very important discussions that are happening. And lastly, I'd like to just inspire you as we go on to be food system champions wherever you are, and encourage you to start producing your own food, whether in your large farm, in your backyard garden, in your patio, or in your balcony, so that we can be more food sustainable. We'll be featuring agriculture and food system innovators, and they'll help us understand how best to manage external factors affecting the agricultural sector, such as pandemics like the one we're currently in, climate change, finance, ecological degradation policies, and how we can reduce food loss. We have a distinguished pool of speakers also among us that have already joined us. And for the 3 days, we'll have speakers from the Netherlands. We have speakers from South Africa. We'll also have speakers from Tanzania for the next events. Most importantly, I'd like to express my gratitude once more for your participation and for joining this webinar, where we hope you'll share your thoughts, experiences, and ideas. Quickly, I'd like to just give thanks to NAAK. I'd like to give thanks to Amand Hubasinayo, the Netherlands Embassy in Kenya. I'd like to thank Brenda, Ingrid, Elizabeth, the Netherlands Embassy in Tanzania. I'd like to thank Lika and Abdallah, Professor Huho for his guidance, the alumni members for both associations, the organizing team in Tanzania that was led by Deogracias, an organizing team in Kenya that has worked passionately behind the scenes to ensure the summit is a success. Asanteni sana. So let us now produce to take action. Thank you very much.